As Planned Parenthood celebrates its 100th year in operation, the organisation is still as divisive as ever, with the fallout from those videos continuing. Now is as good a time as any to take a closer look at Planned Parenthood and its role in modern America. Hello and welcome to In Focus.
Attack parts these days because they're looking for specific nodes, A/B nodes, SA. I was like, wow, I didn't even know. Good for them. Yesterday was the first time she said people wanted lungs. And then, like I said, always as many attack livers as possible. People just want
livers.
Some people want lower extremities too, which that's simple. I mean, that's easy. I don't know what they're doing with it. I guess they want muscle. But
Yeah, a dime a dozen.
That was just a snapshot of the hours of footage taken by members of anti-abortion group Center for Medical Progress. They were posing as employees of a biological firm that provides fetal tissue to researchers, trying to trap Planned Parenthood into selling human body parts, which, as the video says, is a federal felony. Only problem is that's exactly what Planned Parenthood weren't doing. They weren't selling body parts, they were discussing the use of fetal tissue for life-saving medical research. That's legal. The law was passed in 1993 by the Senate 93-4, following recommendations from an expert panel set up by none other than Ronald Reagan. The moment the 5 10-minute videos were uploaded, the Women's Health Organization said they'd been heavily edited. The Center for Medical Progress said otherwise. We now know who is right. 2 anti-abortion activists behind the films were indicted by a Texas grand jury on Monday, while Planned Parenthood was cleared of any wrongdoing. Still, abortion remains a visible fault line in US politics. The doctored videos aren't the first time the organisation has been targeted, and it won't be the last. The origins of Planned Parenthood can be traced back to Margaret Sanger, Ethel Byrne, and Fanny Mendel, who opened America's first birth control clinic back in 1916. Sanger is a pretty controversial figure herself. She was one of the pioneers of women's rights, popularizing the term birth control, and is a huge figure in the feminist movement. After World War I, Sanger became much more interested in eugenics. In 1921, she gave a speech called The Morality of Birth Control, dividing society into 3 groups. The educated and informed class that regulated the size of their families, the intelligent and responsible class who wanted to do the same but didn't have the means, and the irresponsible and reckless people who were bound by religion and didn't have control over their numbers. Sanger stated, "There is no doubt in the minds of all thinking people that the procreation of this group should be stopped." Her view on eugenics, along with her desire for a strict immigration policy that excluded those with incurable hereditary disabilities, made Sanger a punching bag for critics. Planned Parenthood's outlook may have evolved, but they still face violent opposition in the modern era. On November 27, 2015, a gunman shot and killed 2 civilians and a police officer at the Colorado Springs clinic. At one point, he shouted, "No more baby parts," a pretty clear indication of his motive. Earlier in the year, a clinic in Washington state was heavily damaged by arson, and in 2012, a Wisconsin clinic was subject to a bombing, though nobody died. Of course, in 1994, abortion opponent John Salvi carried out 2 fatal shootings at 2 separate Planned Parenthood clinics in Massachusetts. Anti-abortion terrorism is nothing new, but perhaps their location is misguided. 1 in 5 American women have sought Planned Parenthood treatment, but only 3% of the work carried out by the health service are actually abortions. Instead, most clients seek out Planned Parenthood to prevent unintended pregnancy. Clinics also provide nearly 400,000 pap smears, 500,000 breast exams, and 4.5 million tests and treatments for STIs each and every year. Except in the case of rape, incest, and life-threatening situations, no federal funds go towards abortions. Despite that and the immeasurable good the organisation does for women's health, many in Congress want to defund Planned Parenthood. Now, the organisation would continue to operate, but their critical services would be seriously weakened. The abortion debate continues, and while there aren't any real winners, the biggest loser may well be women's health. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.